When you're driving down the road and you stop and see a motorcycle, especially a Harley Davidson, I think a lot of people kind of check it out.
People love motorcycles.
They do.
And one man in particular had a special love for motorcycles, and now he is being honored with a museum in Vogel Center, and that's where Alex and Stephanie are this morning.
Good morning, Scott and Kelly. That's right. This morning it's all about motorcycles and all about a man named Kevin Moses. Right now we are at the Museum of Moses. So Carla, let's start off talking about who was Kevin and how did this museum come to be?
Kevin Moses was my brother. He died August 8th of 2010 of head and neck cancer. He had a massive tumor on his neck that grew all the way around the back of his head until it finally ate him alive. He had a massive collection of vintage Harleys, among other things, and he always wanted his own museum, and now he has one.
And here we are today. He has obviously tons of motorcycles and also tons of motorcycle memorabilia all around us. Let's talk over here. What are we seeing? There's also some antique furniture, it looks like.
Lots of antique furniture. We'll start with the dresser. The dresser's from the Indian School in Mount Pleasant that was opened from approximately 1895 to 1934 when our government used to take the Indian babies away from the tribes and try to teach them the white man's ways. When they closed the Indian School in 34, they put their stuff out by the curb for free, and our grandparents worked on the grounds there and brought home that dresser and the chair that's further down here, and they've been in my family ever since. My brother got it after my grandma died in 1991.
And then we also have a very old stove that was actually in use until...
Yes, till the mid-'80s. It belonged to our great-great-aunt Nettie Baker. That would be her in the bottom of the photograph. I'm not sure if you can get that. She bought the stove new in 1921 in Wynn, Michigan. She cooked on it until the early 1980s. She died in 1985, and my mother purchased it from the estate.
All right, well, Scott and Kelly, this is really just the very beginning of our tour here. We have lots of great motorcycle items to see, so you'll make sure, want to stay tuned for all of this.
Motorcycles and more, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Motorcycles and more. There you go.
The local man passed away last fall. His family decided to honor him in a unique way by opening a motorcycle museum.
Motorcycles were Kevin Moses' life passion, so the Museum of Moses showcases his entire collection. Alex and Stephanie are live in Missaukee County this morning to show it off. Hi, Alex.
Hey guys, to say that Kevin Moses was passionate about Harley Davidson motorcycles would definitely be an understatement. We've done a little exploring this morning and I found something that kind of speaks to me. These are the Harley Women magazines that he owned, and I think by the end of the morning the Moses family might make a Harley woman out of me yet. What do you guys think?
I think we will. We'll make a hag out of you.
Oh, okay. A little bit of everything there. And while we've been exploring, you've been telling me that this is just a small percentage of what your brother owned.
Yes, this is a fraction of what's left of the collection. The rest of it has been sold to fund this project. His trust has paid for the building. Everything that has been done so far, his trust has funded. Our goal now is to have donations and the sales of our t-shirts and buttons keep us up and running and allow us to stay open.
So let's continue our tour a little bit and talk about some of the things we're seeing along the wall. The hat first.
The coonskin cap he wore because the tumor on his neck didn't allow him to wear his helmet. So someone in the UP made that to fit his head and accommodate the tumor, and they let him ride in Isabella County with that on because all of the police there knew that he was dying of cancer.
And then above that we have a large collection of plates.
Harley plates, most of them are from the 80s and 90s. They're all serial number, limited edition, collector series plates. He bought 2 of everything, so we do have duplicates put away, and there are original boxes and everything for them. The black belts on the wall are kidney belts from the early riding days before the days of back supporters and shock absorbers. You wore them to protect your kidneys because some of the old bikes, like the one we'll see later, was pretty rough on you.
I like how some of those are kind of bedazzled, too. They each have their own little flair.
Right. These are very fancy ones.
So what do you think Kevin would say if he saw this museum today?
Well, I hope he would be happy. If he was alive, of course, we wouldn't have this museum today. So we certainly hope he would be happy.
And of course, the museum is open to the public.
The museum is open to the public. You don't have to be a Harley person to be here at all. We're open weekends from 10 to 6, weekdays by appointment.
You don't have to be a Harley person, but you might become a Harley person. Scott and Kelly, I'm becoming a Harley woman, as you can see.
I know, I thought you were going to bedazzle yourself with one of those belts.
Maybe in the next segment.
Could be later. Yeah.
Well, if you love motorcycles, pay attention. You're about to see a very unique museum located right here in northern Michigan.
The Museum of Moses opened up this past weekend in Missaukee County, displaying everything from vintage bikes to a collection of Harley enthusiast magazines dating back to 1929. Alex and Stephanie are live in Vogel Center doing a little exploring this morning.
Good morning, guys. Now, earlier I told you I was going to become a Harley woman this morning. I may not be much of a rider, but I do know how to make some noise. Oh, good morning, everyone. For those of you that know bikes, this is a 1967 Harley Davidson with sidecar. For me, I like to refer to it as the pretty pink one.
The pretty pink one, yes. One of many of my brother's collection. This one he never rode. I'm a new rider, and I'm just learning to ride. My mother's going to be getting a license also, and she's sitting in a 1942 Harley-Davidson sidecar.
And when your brother passed away last year, he left behind all of this great Harley-Davidson stuff. Had a grand opening this weekend, right? How did it go?
Yes, we had approximately 200 motorcycles here on Sunday. It was absolutely awesome, and we're hoping that we can keep that up.
And you had mentioned earlier that Kevin loved to have the first and last, the one and only. Let's talk about some of the stuff we're seeing over there. Those lights are pretty rare.
Just the little Harley patio lights up there. They made 25,182 or something of them. That's the last numbered set of them. That is number 25,182.
And just down from the lights, we have a collection of magazines that look pretty antique to me.
Yes, the Harley Enthusiast magazines date from August of 1929 through the mid-1950s. There's just about complete sets of the 40s and 50s there. In the photos above are a fraction of his motorcycle collection. The corner unit then to the right is from our dad's side of the family from about 1890. His Amish hickory rocker from 1986.
So much history here.
Yes.
Just keeps going.
Yes, and then in the glass display cabinet at the end we have a variety of vintage Harley parts in their original boxes, mostly from the 30s and 40s.
Lots of fun little trinkets. Scott and Kelly, I don't know if you guys are buying my Harley woman, but if this doesn't convince you, I don't know what will.
And it's pink.
I'm a Harley woman.
Yeah. The pink works. The pink makes it very believable for Alex.
Yeah.
You ever stepped into a room that's wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling, full of motorcycles?
Well, probably not, but now you can let your inner motorcycle admirer run loose at a brand new museum in Missaukee County. Alex and Stephanie are live at the Museum of Moses to show us some of the interesting finds there. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Kelly and Scott. This room is obviously wall-to-wall, ceiling-to-ceiling Harley Davidson. The Museum of Moses is actually named after Kevin Moses, who unfortunately last year passed away from cancer, but he left behind this incredible collection. So tell us how the idea came to make a museum out of it.
Well, he always wanted to have his own museum to display his massive collection, and unfortunately, if he would have lived to be 100, he would have never done it. They would have still been sitting in their boxes or wherever they were.
It took the women in his life to put it together, of
course.
course.
Of course it did.
So let's talk about some of the stuff we're seeing around us and above us. This thing looks very Jetson-esque. What is this?
This is a 1939 Goulding rocket sidecar manufactured in Saginaw, Michigan. It was used by the Ohio Sheriff's Department. And on the wall back here, we have the step to the sidecar, which is what you step up on to get into the car.
And that's pretty rare.
Yes, Goulding has over 20 steps on their website, and they do not have this step. It has the G for Goulding. It says Goulding, Saginaw, USA, patented. I have a price sheet here showing that this cost $101 in 1939.
So if you want to see this, the only place you can come to see it is Vogel Center, Michigan.
Here we are.
Here we are. And Kevin also had a very large collection of bikes, about 35. We have a couple of them in here. Let's talk about some of these.
This one here is a 1966 Harley Davidson that was a special bike built by Harley to display at Pikes Peak in 1966 and then ridden on and displayed at Sturgis. It was the first year of the shovel head motor, and Harley wanted to show it off.
And also very rare with this design here, right?
Yes, it's a one-of-a-kind custom paint job. They did several things to this bike that weren't usual and customary in 1966. I'm not positive what all of those are because I'm new to this whole Harley thing also.
Just like I am.
Yes.
We have a nice rainbow array of bikes. Let's keep moving down the line here. Next is the green one.
Yep, the green one is a 1968 Harley Davidson Electra Glide. It is also basically all original. The blue one sitting next to it is a 1969. It would have been one of the last true Harleys to roll off the line in '68 before AMF partnered with Harley in January of '69. The blue one has 8,343 original miles on it.
Oh my goodness, Scott and Kelly, so many great bikes. Which one do you think is the most fitting for me? I'm trying to decide here. This one, this one.
And then we have this thing
always gravitate to the pink.
Is that a trick question, Alex? Did you know there are around 200 million motorcycles currently in use throughout the world?
There are more expensive kinds than others, and others are more rare, and then there's some that are just downright exciting to look at. Now, you'll find bikes that fit into all three of those categories at a brand new museum in northern Michigan. Alex and Stephanie are live at the Museum of Moses in Vogel Center this morning. Morning, Alex.
Hey guys, this is what they call showing up to a live shot in style. This is a 1988 Harley-Davidson certified police special, and it's just one of the many incredible bikes you'll find here at the Museum of Moses. Carla, tell us a little bit about this bike.
It was my brother's last ride. It is a 1988 Harley-Davidson certified police special. The sidecar was put on in the spring of 2010 because he was too weak to hold the bike up. He rode our mom 3,000 miles in it, and after he died, my parents gave it to my husband, who had cancer also and needed the 3 wheels.
And of course, the Museum of Moses was made in honor of Kevin Moses, who died of cancer last year. But it took a lot of work to put all of this together, all of his collectibles and bikes and Harley-Davidson stuff.
It did, and numerous members of the community have gone out of their way to help us. We've had so many things donated and given, and our building crew, Derek Dennis from Great Lakes Property in Marion, did a fantastic job. So many people have been helping us, and we also want to make sure we talk about the car a little bit.
Of course, the car is what you're all looking at right now. Tell us about the car.
The car is a 1956 Cadillac Series 62. My brother purchased from the original owner's grandson. I am the 3rd registered owner of it. It is all original except for tires and battery.
And on the lights, there's something kind of unique, too. There's little Harley symbols.
Symbols. Imagine that. It had to be Harley.
You were telling me, too, Kevin, he's very passionate about Harley-Davidson, even had 2 dogs named Harley and Davidson. Isn't that right?
Yes, he did. They were the grandfather and father of the dogs that we still have.
So what's the response been of this community to this brand new Museum of Moses?
Well, I think at first everyone thought we'd completely lost our marbles. And I think now, I think it's been overwhelming, and I think everybody is very surprised and pleased by what they've seen.
I'm also very pleased. Scott and Kelly, we showed up to our live shot in style. I think we might try and leave in style, too. So Stephanie might want to back up a second there. And we're going to send it on back to you guys as we roll out.
Schultz!
Looking good as the sidekick.
The sidecar. Whether you can rattle off the name of every Harley-Davidson model that's ever existed or just enjoy a good ride on a bike, you'll want to check out the Museum of Moses.
It's a brand new museum in Missaukee County dedicated to, you guessed it, motorcycles. Alex and Stephanie take us live there this morning. Hi, Alex.
Good morning, Kelly and Scott. I think I would be in the category that just likes the ride, but I did learn a lot of great Harley facts here this morning. Right now we are actually inside the Vogel store, which is connected to the Museum of Moses, and some of the items you can still see right here in the store.
Right, this is our overflow room. We've got a 1966 Harley-Davidson Sportster that is unique in that it's a right foot shift with a left foot brake.
And I like it because it's pink.
It's pink, it's very pretty.
Love it.
And the one in the back here is a 1966 drag bike. It runs nearly 200 miles an hour. That would be its wheelie wheels, the metal bars on the wall.
So we don't take this one for a spin.
No, we can't afford the insurance to take that one for a spin.
And then up here in this cabinet we have everything from Harley polish cleaner to Harley deodorant, it looks like.
From the pistons in the corner that she's on now are 1937 Harley-Davidson pistons in their original boxes. We have some 36 piston and lock rings, some 53 rings, some 1935 polish, 1935 brake linings, 1937 oil tank cap.
Biker brew up there, I see that
brew,
coffee.
Harley coffee, yep.
Oh, a little bit of everything. People really need to come and see this for themselves,
right? They really must come and see it for themselves. We'd like everyone to come and see, even if you're not a motorcycle person. There's something here for everybody. And then we do again have t-shirts and memory books and buttons and hats and patches for sale that are going to help keep the museum open. We also have things for the store. Vogel Center, Michigan, come smell our derriere because of our Dutch dairy farming heritage. So we've got something for everybody. The museum is open weekends, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 6. The store is open 365 days a year from 9:30 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Something for everyone, Kelly and Scott. At the beginning of the morning, I told you by the end of the day I'd be a Harley woman. Do you think I succeeded? At least a Harley girl? Not
You're
mature
tough.
enough?
You're tough and we don't mess with you, Alex. That's all I can say.